Everyone, hope you all are fine. Welcome to the English Academy. In this video, I'm going to explain you the poem Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day, written by William Shakespeare. So let's start with the introduction to the poet. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright, and actor of the Renaissance era. He was an important member of the Kingsman Company of theatrical players from roughly 1594 onward. Born in 1564, he was an English playwright, poet, actor, famous dramatist of queens and kings, inventor of words, master of drama, and arguably the most famous writer of all time. In his 36 plays and 154 sonnets, he left behind the evidence of a brilliant mind, a wicked sense of humor, a deep sensitivity to human emotions, and a rich classical education. Shakespeare changed the English language, inventing dozens of new words we still use today. His plays have been translated into more than 80 other tongues and performed in dozens of countries. Right here, I want to make you understand one thing that Shall I Compare Thee to a Summer's Day is a sonnet, and sonnet 18 it is called because it is the 18th sonnet in William Shakespeare's collection of 154 sonnets. A sonnet is a type of poem that was originated in Italy in the 13th century. It is a 14-line poem. In this sonnet, Shakespeare compares his beloved to a summer's day, arguing that his beloved is even more beautiful and enduring than a summer's day. Sonnet 18 is a sonnet written by English poet and playwright William Shakespeare. The poem was likely written in the 1590s, though it was not published until 1609. Like many of Shakespeare's sonnets, the poem wrestles with the nature of beauty and with the capacity of poetry to represent that beauty, praising an anonymous person usually believed to be a young man. The poem tries out a number of cliched metaphors and similes and finds each of them wanting. It then develops a highly original and unusual simile. The young man's beauty can be best expressed by comparing him to the poem itself. So finally, we are after the introduction to the poet to the sonnet, we are going to start. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? And I'm going to explain you each line individually. Starting with the very first one, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? The speaker is asking if he should compare the person he is addressing, his beloved, to something else. The speaker is proposing to compare the beloved to a summer's day, which was often considered the most beautiful and pleasant time of year in Shakespeare's time. And in that era, in that century, summers were supposed to be very pleasant, very attractive, and Shakespeare, the writer, is actually asking that shall he compare his beloved, his loved one, to the summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. It is the second line of the sonnet, and it is where the speaker starts to develop the comparison between the beloved and a summer's day. He is saying that the beloved is even more beautiful and charming than a summer's day. The speaker is highlighting the beloved's physical and inner beauty, saying that it surpasses even the beauty of a summer's day. He further said that summer can be imperfect with its heat and unpredictability, whereas the beloved is consistently lovely and temperate, means calm, balanced, and gentle. Let's move to the third line. Rough winds do shake the darling birds of May. Shakespeare is comparing the beauty of a beloved to the beauty of a summer's day, and nothing that even the most beautiful things can be fragile and fleeting. The darling birds of May refer to the delicate flowers that bloom in May, which are vulnerable to rough winds and other harsh weather conditions. And summer's lease hath all too short a date. In this line, Shakespeare uses a metaphor to describe the fleeting nature of summer. He links summer to a leased property, suggesting that its presence is temporary and will soon come to an end, just as lease has an expiration date. Summer's time is limited and its beauty and warmth will not last forever. The phrase all too short a date emphasizes the conciseness or shortness of a summer's stay. implying that its passing is swift and irreversible. But ultimately, his beloved's beauty is everlasting. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines. The line suggests that sometimes the sun's heat becomes too intense, implying that even the most beautiful things can become overwhelming or excessive. The line also sets up a contrast with the beloved's beauty, which is not subject to the same extremes as the sun's heat. Line 6, and often is his gold complexion deemed. In this line, Shakespeare compares the sun's beauty to gold, emphasizing its value and radiance. The word deemed suggests a loss of luster or brilliance, implying that the sun's beauty can be affected by external factors such as clouds or atmospheric conditions. The line continues to develop the idea that even the most beautiful things, like the sun, can have imperfections or variations, whereas the beloved's beauty remains constant. Line 7, and every fear from fear sometime declines. In the line, Shakespeare astutely observes that every beautiful thing will inevitably lose its beauty over time. The phrase every fair encompasses all things that passes beauty, while from fair signifies a departure from that state of beauty. The word declines implies a gradual and irreversible loss of beauty, underscoring the idea that nothing can remain beautiful forever. This poignant observation reinforces the sonnet's central theme that beauty is fleeting and susceptible to the ravages of time. But ultimately, the point on which Shakespeare is stern or strict, that whatever matters, the beauty of his beloved will remain the same. Neither time, neither nor any other conditions gonna harm it. So right here we have covered half of the sonnet, and half of the sonnet explanation you will be getting in the next video. Till next video, take care, and if you are having any confusion, let me know in the comment section. Bye bye.